What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video. This time I'm gonna explore a city that I've always wanted to explore and film in my channel, which is Cliffside Park, and it's in the lower part of Bergen County in New Jersey. I'm right now in North Bergen, New Jersey, but this is a park, and on the other side of the park, a couple of blocks down, is Cliffside Park. And it's pretty much like a residential area. I got a couple of main streets like Palisades, you know, a lot of nice houses over there. So like I say, I think I passed by it years ago, but this is the first time I'm gonna go and explore. I'm on a bike, so gonna see what that neighborhood has to offer me. And without further ado, join me. So there's a beautiful park out here in North Bergen. Bergen Line Avenue is right here. If I go here, this will take me also to Cliffside Park, but I want to make it towards Palisades Avenue and Cliffside. I mean, this would be some nice residential houses over there. And then I'll start working my way towards the city or the township to see what's going on. So I'm literally like 2 blocks from Cliffside. I think if I go towards Palisade Plaza, merge left, and 1 block down, that should be Cliffside Park. So we are in for a treat to explore what's going on over there. Then I think right here should be the border of North Bergen, New Jersey, and Cliffside Park. So I'm gonna go towards here. Then that street ahead of me, I think it's Palisades Avenue. And you can start seeing how beautiful the houses are. Look at these 2 houses, how big they are. Here we got more going on. Over here, wow, it's a 2-lane road, even though the streets are tight. So pretty residential over here. We're going down the hill. Kind of giving me a semi-vibe, Weehawken. And look at this over here, with a basketball and everything. It's nice. They even got speed bumps here to avoid people from speeding pretty fast. I think ahead of me should be Palisades Avenue. Wow, look at this, houses, how gorgeous they are. And look at this side, wow. It's like if it's 2 houses in one, but it might be just one big one. Then here, I think it's one of the busy streets, which is Palisades and Cliffside Park. Palisades Avenue and Columbus Place. Comparing to other places that I've been around the North Jersey side, I don't see really much people. I'm literally the only guy biking out here. But this is just the beginning. We're gonna bike a little bit more forward to see what else is going on. I'm just gonna figure out how do I cross towards the other side and then show you what's happening in this city over here. I'm doing what the locals do, biking in the sidewalk, because I was trying to find how to get towards the other side, but hey. Little by little, I'm starting to see some high-rise apartment buildings ahead of me. So let's see what's going on. So you can see a lot of residential units. In the back, there are some tall buildings, which I think that's gonna be in the northern part of Cliffside Park. And this is Bergen County, not Hudson County. So I literally just crossed Hudson County to Bergen County. And Bergen County is a really huge county in North New Jersey. If you go northern up, it's mostly like big mansions and a lot of nature. Today is actually a really gorgeous day, you know, perfect weather, not too hot. Like in the high 70s, I think. So I thought it was a perfect day for me to bike. I think I bike already like 8 miles from where I live till it's here. So this is probably the longest I ever bike, but I think it's gonna be worth it. But so far I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. Beautiful, gorgeous Cliffside Park. I'm gonna go ahead because ahead there should be a little tiny local park, which I think is going to be actually pretty nice. You know, here it says it clearly, welcome to the borough of Cliffside Park, established in 1895. And over there you can see some high-rise buildings at the end. So the name of the little playground that I want to check out and probably see what's happening in the area is called Zalewski Playground. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct, but that should be like a little greenery area, and I think around the area, there's probably a lot of nice houses and buildings. So only one way to find out, being on the ground, see what's happening. As you can see here, pretty much what you get in a regular township in Jersey. Kind of looks a little bit like Kearney too. A little bit of Kearney and Harrison Township. So I think where that building is in the corner towards my left, I think that's why I submerged and it would take me straight towards the playground. Here we got a gas station, 286. I remember a while ago, it used to be over 3 something, the gas. And down here is a massive hill. It's crazy. Good thing is that the streets here are pretty wide. So it's pretty easy, you know, to drive and for me to bike around. Here's a gas station in Sunoco. So by the gas station is where I should be making my right. and it would take me straight towards the playground. Another thing about Cliffside is they have a lot of hills, so it's gonna be a challenge for me to go up and down on a bike. Okay, this hill is steep AF. So, I mean, even though I'm going down, I'd rather just walk it. Safer for me. You know, I don't want to lose control over my bike and then boom, hit myself with something. But let's see, I see a condominium ahead of me, so it's probably a new building that they built. Here it is, you see the tall condominium. And then George Road, this is gonna go up and it will have an intersection with Anderson Avenue, which is kind of like the main street of Cliffside Park. And if you go throughout Anderson Avenue towards the other side, it borders with Bergen line. Once you head North Bergen and West New York, then the playground should be here in the corner. But this proves you like the new developments that they got going on. There's more condominiums over that side too, at the end. Then the playground's right there in the corner. I'm just gonna wait for the light so I can cross, and there goes the Jersey Transit buses. Yep. Here's another modern building that they pop up. I think I'm gonna, well, let me cross the street first and then. So this is Zalewski Park. So it should be piled up in the hill. So I'm gonna go towards that way. I should make it right. And now I don't know if I'm gonna go inside the park, but I wanna see what the surrounding area looks like. I think it's gonna be pretty nice. And this is my ride. This bike, I bought it in the pandemic. I bought this bike in 2020. It's 2025, 5 years later, it's still going strong. It gets me anywhere I need to go. So the best $260 I've spent. Meanwhile, here you see all the houses right next to the playground. And all this region in southern Bergen County is actually beautiful, like Cliffside Park, Ridgefield Park, Fort Lee, Edgewater. You know, all these areas over here are pretty nice. Also Palisades Park, which has, I think, the largest Korean diaspora outside of Korea. And it's not too far from here. It's also like a really nice town. And once you exit the playground, it's Adolphus Avenue, which is the avenue that I'm walking. And it's pretty beautiful. And wow. Really makes you feel, you know, like if you're really like in the suburbs, even though we're not too far from New York City. But I'm gonna show you what's happening ahead of me. So you see how nice the sidewalks are. Really beautiful houses over here. I guess this is giving you a little semi-Bergen County feel. You know, we're not too far from North Bergen, but it's so different from North Bergen. The houses and everything. Wow, look at this house. It's beautiful. And I like how they have a lot of vegetation out here in the streets. Also, there's a couple of dead-end roads right here, so I'm gonna assure that it's probably a safe, you know, a safe community out here in this region. So I'm gonna make it ahead towards Cecilia Avenue to see how are the vibes, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be nice, you know, nice looking streets with nice, beautiful houses. The only bad thing is like I'm literally going up the hill, so, but this is what the area looks like. Beautiful. Look at this house, it's cute, blue. And we got more over this side too, which is actually pretty nice. Like it down here, then ahead, I think it should be even nicer. But it seems like it's going down the hill. Look at this great house ahead of me. It's beautiful. And this is like a big hill. I think I see actually the upper west side ahead of me once you go down the hill. It's just crazy how you see the contrast. Look at this little tiny street right here. Pretty nice. And we got a dead end road ahead of me. And a speed bump, that way it avoids people from going fast. And look at this beautiful house right here. And this over here is Esplanade Road, and you can see the upper west side over there with Riverside Drive Park and the Hudson River. So a little hidden gem right here in Cliffside Park. That was a little cool area there to see a little bit of New York from this angle over here. Now I'm walking towards this street, and the next block I should be going all the way up the hill. And make it back towards Palisades and George Road. And we're gonna pass around, because I think it's kind of like a semi-main street, to see what are the vibes over there. Then we make it back towards another part of the city over here to see what else is happening. You can see how nice and well paved this road is. So it's like a little simple city out here. See the houses, how beautiful they are. I like how they got the regular standard houses that you see in New Jersey, and then they got these modern looking houses that they develop. It's really cool. So glad that I managed to make my way here. It took me like 15 minutes to bike from where I live towards here. And it's literally like another world. It seems like they're really doing a good job to preserve the streets over here. But now I gotta go all the way up the hill. So I'm just gonna walk it, I don't mind. The good thing I got the bike, so if I need to go somewhere further from the city, the bike is right here, so I'll reach pretty fast. And look how nice and well paved the roads are and the beautiful houses right there. And here you got this freshly paved sidewalk with the entrance of this modern house. And they got another modern house. This one says for sale. So I wonder how much they're selling this house over here. It's beautiful though. For sale, the Acres Group 201 area code. That's funny, that's a Jersey City number. The mall over here. Look at these two houses across the street. They look literally like the White House, but Jersey version. Street keeps going. I like how they really did the job to pave the roads and keep it nice and clean. And then look, more beautiful houses. So, gotta tell you, I'm really loving Cliffside Park. I gotta start exploring more of Bergen County, because Bergen County has a lot of beautiful townships right here. And here's like a terrace, it's kind of like a semi-private street when you see this over here, like the entrance. But nice looking street. And the sidewalk, I'm really in love with the sidewalk. And look at this house, how beautiful it is. And the thing about coming towards the suburbs is the streets are a little bit more organized, people obey the rules. So much more easier for you to bike and for people, to drive around. So, and here is the other street. And the thing is, a lot of people abroad are thinking New Jersey as either the Jersey Shore or cities like Newark, Elizabeth, Jersey City, but they got beautiful neighborhoods like this, residential areas. Especially if you go around Bergen County, a lot of streets are pretty gorgeous. And if you go, like I said, if you go even northern up, the houses are even nicer and more isolated. So much better if you have a car. So that's the only no-no, just to get around, And this over here is called Random Place. Another nice looking street. Good thing in the summertime, gets pretty nice over here. You can see how nice the houses are. I tell you, this is not far from where I live, but it's so different. If you go in a car without traffic, I think maybe 20, 25 minutes it'll take you to get here. But yeah, it's just like a little different vibe. Look at this houses, wow. Beautiful, right? Then in the next street, I should make a left, and it will take me back towards Palisades Avenue. The high school should be right there too. But I'm seeing some beautiful houses right here ahead of me. So this house here is nice. But now I gotta make a left. This is actually a two-side road. And look how beautiful this is, wow. More houses. I tell you, they do in this area have a lot of tons of beautiful houses. And the trees out here. I think this is the high school, or Cliffside Park High School. To my left side. And then ahead of me should be Palisades. So pretty easy for me to bike, I'm glad that I came here. Now my mission is when I finish this video, I gotta bike all the way back home, but that's okay. Good workout though. And it must be easier because I already know how to get back, towards where I live. So here, I think it's Palisades, and this is the high school right here. So you can see what's going on. And this over here is Palisades. So Palisades is pretty busy because it connects you, from point A to point B for the city and the township. And this neighborhood here is pretty diverse. You see people from all over that live over here. I love how blue the sky is. So here the houses are different. My guess is that in this side, I guess it's like the east side of Cliffside Park, the houses are nicer, more residential. You can see the streets, how they look like. Let's keep biking ahead and see what else can I find in this beautiful township of Cliffside Park. Here you got, it's like a condominium. Some business ahead. So like I said, this is not far from New York City, but it has like that super suburb feel. And we got a 7-Eleven here, so a lot of people here, they have their cars. And I guess that's how they get around, by driving around. Some business over here. Wow, the street gets a little bit steep down here. Then ahead of me, there are some super tall residential buildings. I think these buildings, you can see them literally from the big highway, probably like I-95. But yeah, I'm gonna show you once I make it in front of the building so you can have an idea what it looks like. Also, I can literally see Fort Lee ahead of me. But I'm gonna do a detour over here to show you the street, how it looks like. It's pretty nice. So look at the houses over here, how beautiful they are. Big and massive. Seems like they renovate this house. Then the street, of course, it goes down the hill. Wow, plain beauty right here, I like it. It's pretty nice. And in front of me, some super tall residential units. I guess those are like apartment complex, but you see like a huge contrast. And then over here, residential houses. Like I said, if you keep going, I think this would take me straight towards Fort Lee, you know, which is also another city not too far from over here that has a lot of restaurants, a lot of Korean joints too. So I think I've only been there like once, and it's also another beautiful town or city, however you want to call it, over here in Bergen County. See how tall it is? I'm gonna assume that people who live in the other side, they probably have like a nice balcony, a nice view of New York City. And there goes those little minivans. Oh wow, they come here. This is the borough Cliffside Park. They go all throughout Hudson County in this area over here. So I think for a couple of dollars it gets you around different parts of this area. I think I'm gonna make my way towards Anderson Avenue, which is kind of like the main street of Cliffside Park, to see what are the vibes over there and probably check out some of the other regular streets and then, you know, wrap up the video. And this is Lafayette Avenue. It's crazy, we got Lafayette Avenue in multiple cities. So I'll walk here and this will take me straight towards Anderson, and I'm pretty sure that's where all the action is happening in Cliffside Park. So really excited to see what's happening today on a Tuesday afternoon in the city. It's past 5 o'clock, so we'll see what's going on. I'm approaching Anderson Avenue, which is the main street over here. So I'm really excited to check it out to see what's going on, so let's do it. So this is part of Anderson. But I'm gonna turn back, but I just wanna see how it looks like in this angle over here. Some nice buildings that they got going on. There's a super tall residential unit right here. They're pretty organized, and they got some apartments over here, you know. So I feel like the sky literally beautifies the neighborhood. But now I think it's time for me to turn back and see what's going on. And it's crazy, even the Bergen Line bands that goes all the way, you know, for Hudson County, for Union City, West New York, Gothenburg, and North Bergen, they pass over here. So that's really good. You can get from Cliffside Park all the way here. So that's another form of commuting if you don't have a car, you know. Now I'm walking towards the other side, like heading down south of this town. And it's gonna get pretty interesting. They got like a big condominium in the middle. So I think in the first floor is probably a couple of stores, maybe like a strip mall. But we're gonna find out, you know. Every time when I Google this area, that's what usually pops up right here. So we got a Walgreens in the corner. And then here's the main street with a lot of restaurants. One thing I noticed, they have a lot of Mediterranean, Middle Eastern joints out here too. So it's like a local barbershop, pretty much what you could get in a township in New Jersey. So, and it's funny, people in the cars are looking at me. I guess they haven't seen anybody blog in this area over here. So I'm trying to explore, you know, a lot of cities out here. And this town is good for cardio because it goes up and down the hill. So you don't need a gym. You can just walk around, then you do some pretty good exercise out here. So they got a bakery across the street, coffee and bakery, vanilla. So that's pretty nice. So this street is kind of giving me a little vibe of Austin Street in Forest Hills, but then I look at the modern building, it kind of reminds me a bit of Flushing, Queens too. So let me show you this building ahead of me. This is the building. They got a couple of businesses, a fountain, you know, and pretty tall, you know. I like it here, it looks pretty nice. So this is literally a township that has it all. And so far, the people are so friendly. I was filming the guy, I said sorry, and the guy to the mind is like, no problem, you know, people come and they smile. But that's when you get like those small town vibes over here. So it keeps going. Oh, they even got Shaw's halal food, which I like to eat by Hell's Kitchen on 9th Avenue. So it's good that they have it right here in Cliffside Park. So yeah, it keeps going the main street over here. I think it's much better if I bike it. I should have crossed the street when I had the chance. And then this is the other angle of the tall building. I think I want to cross the other side of the street to see what are the vibes over there. Because I know this street is going to merge with George Road. So I think it'd be better if I cross the street. Now let's walk over this side to see what's going on. Sorry, nice. Over this side to see what are the vibes. And here you see a lot of business. So like I say, you know, you go from one street, you got like the regular houses, and then over here, oh, animal hospital, liquor, food, chocolate lovers. So they got it all right here. And the weather today is just pleasant, man. Can't believe summer is almost over, but like I say, September is probably the best month, and I think the beginning of October is also like the best month. So I'm gonna cross the street here to see what are the vibes. Over here is just like a regular street. Hair salon right here. This is where the street merges. So I think I'm gonna walk Anderson towards Oakdale Avenue and merge and see one of the regular streets and then just wrap up the video. You know, it's a nice looking town out here in Bergen County, New Jersey. And the streets are pretty nice and impeccable and clean. Then it goes down the hill. This is Anderson, so when I finish my video, I'm gonna bike all the way towards, you know, where I live. Then they got a corner cafe there, so that's really cool. One of my observations about this town is tons of coffee shops and cafes and corner joints where people get to sit, eat outside and enjoy the evening out here, you know. But it's not busy, it's like a peaceful vibe over here and I like it. As you can see, the avenue keeps going. And it's crazy that this connects with Bergen Line Avenue, which is pretty busy by Hudson County. So one block ahead of me, I should be making a right to check out some of the regular streets in this side of Cliffside Park. And look at the sidewalks, how they preserve it, pretty nice and clean. Now I'm in Oakdale Avenue, and no matter how small the streets are, you literally go up a hill, so a good workout. You can see the street over here, that's to me. And now the sunsets are starting to fall a little bit earlier. I think it's at 7:30 now. But then this side is pretty nice too. You can see how beautiful the houses are. A little bit different from where I started my video, but you know, a super residential neighborhood and pretty easy to bike around. Goes comfortable around the hill. And I think this connects me towards Richfield Park. This over here is Glen Avenue, but I'm gonna make it towards the other block. I think it's called Grove Avenue. And then that would connect me towards the other side. And here's like a school, not sure if it's a middle school or what school it is. And then Grove Avenue is over here, so let's make a right. The vibes are very different over here, comparing towards the other towns not too far from here. But I tell you, New Jersey has its own thing too. There's a lot to explore in this beautiful state. For some reason they call it the Garden State, you know, even though a lot of people, they hate on it. This is Nelson Avenue, and look at the houses. Even though the street is not in good shape, you can see how nice the houses are over here. But maybe in the future they'll pave the roads over here. And a lot of yards, this will take me straight back again to where I was coming from, Anderson. Much easier to bike in the suburbs than in the city. But if you bike in the city, then you can bike anywhere you go. So hardcore, right? This house is over here. Super cool. So that was the end of my video exploring this beautiful township at Cliffside Park in New Jersey. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.